Hi, I'm Melanie, certified personal trainer here at Fountaingate Gardens Life Plan Community, and we are back for Movement with Melanie in our fitness studio. Today we've got Matt. He is part of our Life Enhancement team, and what he's going to be doing is working on the modification version of the exercises today. So if you're working on balance, he's going to be using the chair for balance, or if you're just working to get that strength, then you can watch Matt for the modifications for all of our exercises. All right, so let's get started. So today we're going to be working on our legs. So working on the front of the legs and the back of the legs, our quads and our hamstrings. But first we want to warm up. So what we're going to do, we're going to start in a march. All right, so we're going to bring those feet together and start pumping those fists. We're going to march for about 15 to 30 seconds here. Okay, just warming up those muscles. And as you're in this march, I want you to make sure you're standing up nice and tall and squeezing that core. So pulling that navel to the spine. Good. As you're doing this, if you want to try to lift those knees a little bit higher, it's going to get that heart rate up just a little bit more. Good, and relax. The second exercise, or the second warm-up we're going to do is going to be called a hamstring curl. All right, and Matt's going to be doing it with the chair, using the chair for balance, and I'm going to be doing it standing. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull our heel up to our butt and bring it back down, switching sides, bringing that heel up to the butt. Okay, he's going to be using the chair for balance. I'm going to be using my arms. So I'm going to grab up at the top. As I pull down, I bring that heel to my glute. All right, so we're going to do 8 on each side, 16 total. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, we go up and up. Good. And when we're doing this warm up, we want to pull that leg back. So we don't want to lift the knee in. We want to pull that leg back. Good. 12. We've got a few more here. And last one. Good. Relax. All right, now we're going to get into our exercises. So today we're going to be working on the lower half. So working on our legs. We've got 3 different exercises for you. It's really going to help with balance, being able to stand on one leg, being able to strengthen those legs. Also with muscle endurance, so going long distances. It's going to help with just strengthening overall legs and getting more endurance throughout. So what we're going to start with, we've got a sit to stand. Matt's going to be doing the modification, so he's going to be using his arms on his chair to help sit up. I'm going to be doing it without my hands on the chair. All right, so what I want you to do is start with your feet about hip width apart, and your ankles are going to be directly underneath of your knees, so really supporting those ankle joints. All right, you're going to squeeze that core, sitting up nice and tall, nose over toes, and then you're going to put those arms out if you're doing this version here. Otherwise, you can use those arm rests. From here, you're going to push through the heels and come all the way to standing. Good. On the way down, you're going to control it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, all the way down. So when you're doing this exercise, I really want you to focus on squeezing that core, so pulling that navel to the spine. That's going to be your key focus, so we don't put any more pressure on the lower back. All right, so we're going to do 8 total of those. So arms out here, squeezing that core, sitting up nice and tall. We've got 8, leaning forward, nose over toes, and all the way up. Good, that's 1. Nice and controlled on the way down. You should really feel this in the hamstrings. Okay, so the hamstrings being the upper part of the back of the leg. Good. Really slowing it down on the way back down to the chair. So don't let gravity just take over. Don't plop into the chair. Control it on the way down. Good. We're about halfway. We've got 4 more. Good. Squeeze that core. And also make sure we're breathing as we do this. So exhale on the way up. And inhale on the way down. Good. Last one, nose over toes, squeeze that core, and back down. Good. So our second exercise is called a side lunge. And what's really great about this exercise is we're going to be working on one leg at a time, so really strengthening one leg at a time. So Matt's going to be doing the modification of the exercise using the chair for balance, and I'll be doing the other version. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our feet about hip width apart here. And we're going to step out, nice big step out to our right. Okay, from here, we're going to sit back into those hips and really squeeze that core. From here, Matt is going to stay in this position here for each repetition. I'm going to bring it all the way back up. So this is the advanced version, that's the modification. So whatever you are comfortable with the proper form, that's where you want to stay and build up to this point. Okay, so we're going to do 8 total on each side. So stepping out with that foot, big step to the right, pushing back into those hips, and that's 1 right there. Good. We've got 8 total, and here we go. and 2. As we go through this exercise, you should really feel that in your glutes and in your hamstring, so back of the upper leg there. Good. Always squeezing that core on the way down and keeping it engaged the entire time. Good, we've got 2 more. Last one, pushing back into those hips and all the way back up. Good. Now we've got the other side. We've got 8 total on the other side, so get into that starting position, hip width apart, big step out to the left, pushing back into those hips and squeezing that core, coming back up. Good, that's 1. And 2. It's very important as you're going through each of these exercises to engage that core just to take any of that extra pressure off of that low back. Good, we've got 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Good. So as we're going through that exercise, if you're not engaging that core, you might feel a little tension in that back. So you might be arching that back a little bit. Pull that navel to the spine, roll those hips under, and that'll protect that low back. So our last exercise is what's called a good morning. And what's really great about this exercise, it works the hamstrings, which we worked earlier, but it also works the lower back, so strengthening that core as well. So kind of a double whammy. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with our feet about hip width apart here. We're gonna put a slight bend in our knees, all right? If you're doing the modification version, you're already in a seated position, so you're already set up as far as your feet being hip width apart. Okay, from this position here, we're not gonna move any of our lower half. We're gonna move our upper half. We're gonna pull those hands back, squeeze those shoulder blades in the back, and then we're gonna hinge at the waist and lean forward here, keeping that back nice and flat, and then coming back up, keeping that position in that lower body. So I'm gonna turn to the side and show you what that looks like from the side. So slight bend in the knees. From there, your lower half is set up. We're gonna pull those shoulder blades back, and we're gonna hinge at the waist, and then come back up from there. Good, so we've got 8 total of those. Let's set that position up, pull those shoulders back. Here we go, and down, and up. Good, that's 1. Squeezing that core as we bend. Good. So you'll feel a little tension here in the lower back. As long as it's muscle building pain and not pinched off pain, that's what we want to feel. Good, we've got 4 more. As you go through this exercise, try not to crank the neck up, so try to keep that in neutral spine, so don't lift the head up like this, keep it down. Good, we've got 1 more from here, and up, good, very nice. Really great job with all of those exercises. So now we're gonna be going into a cool down. It's really important to cool down after every exercise because we wanna have that muscle recovery. So we're gonna go into some static stretches. First, we're gonna do a hamstring stretch, and we're gonna bring that right foot out, flex that toe back, then we're gonna sit up nice and tall and pull that navel to the spine and then lean over that bent leg, so that leg that has the foot on the ground. All right, we also wanna make sure our ankle is directly underneath of our knee just to support those joints. And you'll feel that stretch all on the back side of the leg. So you'll feel it in the calf as we pull that toe back, and then you'll feel it in the hamstring, the upper part of the back of the leg. Got 3 more seconds here. Good, and relax. Each stretch you want to hold for about 15 to 30 seconds. So now we're going to do the left side. So bring that left leg out, extending that all the way. Pull that toe back. You'll feel the stretch in the calf. Sit up nice and tall, and then lean over that bent leg. And we always want to make sure we're breathing through each of our stretches. If you have that proper form and you feel like you can go a little farther, you can go a little farther to the leg. Good, and relax. All right, our second stretch that we're gonna go into is a crossover. So we're gonna bring our right leg up to our chest, cross that ankle over, and then we're gonna hug that leg close to our chest. From here, we're sitting up nice and tall. We're gonna rotate in towards that knee that is up, then pull that outside shoulder back. Sit up nice and tall. You'll feel the stretch all in the hamstring into the glutes. Also, you'll feel a torso stretch as well. And holding that for 15 to 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Switching sides, so bringing that left knee all the way up to the chest, crossing that over, sitting up nice and tall. We're gonna rotate in towards that knee that is up, then pull that left shoulder all the way back. Holding that for 15 to 30 seconds as well. If you'd like to add a little extra stretch, you can continue that gaze over that left shoulder. Good, we've got about 3 seconds here. And relax, good. Thank you for joining us here for Movement with Melanie and Matt here at Fountaingate Gardens, where an active lifestyle will help you live the best of your life. See you next time.